Good day, darling viewers at home. Just December last year, 2019, a boy with the name Tella was discovered, who is a human calculator. He was discovered by BBC, British Broadcasting Commission, and he was interviewed. During the interview, he was asked what he projected to become in life. So he mentioned that he wanted to become a programmer. Here with me in the house today at SQI College of ICT, located in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, Nigeria. The guy has been offered scholarship to study to any extent he desire. Welcome with me, Tella Mike. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Please, your name in full.
Tella Michael Jolade.
Did you got to know about SQI?
Well, I got to know about SQI through Dr. Frederick Aderito.
Wow, that is very interesting. Now, let's talk about your ability. How did you arrive at this woman calculator they called you?
Well, actually, I noticed that when I was very young, it was easy for me to control numbers. And you know one thing with parents, at maybe age 7, 8, there is every tendency that you must learn how, you must memorize multiplication table.
Okay.
Because that's prerequisite of being in primary school then. So, and I try as much as possible to see, okay, what is this thing? Then I noticed one thing that's so amazing. The first day I picked it up, it was as if it has been there before.
Wow.
So I try as much as possible to move to 13, 14, 15, 16. You know, children can be inquisitive. Okay. So that was what got me interested then. Okay. Then I noticed that when I got to secondary school, because what was at the back of my mind is something everyone could do, so I did not take it too serious like that. So when I got to secondary school, I noticed that it was different kids entirely. Then I tried as much as possible. Only what I do then is just to play with numbers around. Okay. So then as time goes on, after I left secondary school, I decided to venture into a business for female. So then only what I do, even while I was learning how to make hair, was sometimes I decided maybe if we are not doing anything, just pick up pen and paper, just try to scribble numbers, just try as much as possible to play around them. Then when I got to university, I discussed it with my course advisor then that, okay sir, there's something I can do. But he said, okay, they are going to work to it. So that day, he took me to our dean's office. So when we got there, he asked me some questions and I answered him. He said, okay, no problem, I'm going to get back to that. But so shortly after that, he was another dean came in. So then, only what I do then is just to focus on my hair business and my school. So I decided to put that one aside. Sometimes I just play with numbers. Some people ask me that, some of them like, guy, what are you doing? Are you expecting one? I say no worry, I'm just trying to play with numbers. So only people I got to know was my classmates, my classmates. Sorry. So then I try as much as possible to continue doing what I know how to do best. Then something happened 2nd of June last year. I was with a friend. He came back shortly after I finished his service from Anambra. So I talked to him that, oh sorry, there's something that I can do, but sorry that we've been friends for over 2 years and I've not discussed it with you. He said, okay, no problem. So I told him that, oh, this is it. He said, okay, I'll bring out your phone, call numbers. He was surprised. He said, okay, no problem. Then that day I went home. I was at home when he called me that, sorry, please, can I come back to their house? I said, okay. I told my dad that, sorry, I'm going back to hostel. He said, what happened? This is 7 p.m. already. I said, there's something I want to do. So he said, okay, no problem. I went back to hostel. Funny enough, I did not go to hostel. I went to his place straight. Then I just have to call my friends that, sorry, I left home, but I'm in my friend's place so that I'll be back to the hostel tomorrow. So I decided to try as much as possible to talk to them, and they told me that this is what you are. Sorry, you've been our friends for some time now, but you decided not to say, but you are surprised that how come? So they said, okay, so we have to try as much as possible to help you out. So let's just do a short video. But how are we going to do this video? Let's just try as much as possible to, okay, so that it won't look as if it was schooled or something happened, or maybe it was planned. So you'll be making it for one of our sisters, then you'll be calling the numbers. So that was how I did the first video, that 2nd of June. Then I sent it to some of my friends, they posted it. But some people, they never believed. So sometimes I will be at home, they will just call that, hey Tella, how far? Some of my friends are here, they want to confirm if it's true or not. So they called in, I answered and said, wow. So how BBC got to know was when my school hosted intervarsity debates. So some of the federal schools and state schools came around. So and I went to our media office to tell them that, sorry, if it's possible for me to perform at the event, since it's an educative event. So like, okay, no problem. Then on the grand finale, so I went there. I did what I know how to do best. So it was one journalist from BBC. Okay. He's an alumni of my school. So we exchanged contacts. He said I should get back to him. So I called him the next day and he said this was going that they are going to come back to school to do the interview properly. So that was how.
Okay. What course did you study?
Geography, sir.
Geography?
Yes, sir.
But why not mathematics?
Well, actually, I decided from my secondary school days I want to do geography.
Now, what is your interest in programming?
Well, actually, one thing is that there has been paradigm shift from what we used to see in 5 years ago, from what we see 5 years ago, now from what we are seeing now. And one thing is that every day new thing comes out. Okay. And one thing is that it has come to everyone's notice that now there's every tendency that robots will take over some of those jobs. Yeah, but one thing is, there are some things that robots won't be able to do. One thing is that the analytical thinking, the data analysis, there are some things that humans. And one thing is that me having this kind of ability, this potential, this is the only part I think I can make use of it wisely.
And do you think there's any corroboration between this, your mathematics ability with and programming rather?
Yes, there is, because one thing is that it has me being able to compute numbers maybe is not very easy.
Okay.
Yes, but one thing is that despite the fact that I have the ability, I still go through some rigorous training on my own.
Okay.
And I see programming as one thing that's going to help me. Because one thing, coding has to do with analytical thinking.
So can I test you now?
Yeah, no problem, sir.
95 times 95,000.
9,025,000.
9,025,000. You got it. Wow, bravo. Okay. 200,000 times 250.
50 million.
50 million. Wow, you are a woman calculator indeed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, since you, okay, let me put it this way. When did you arrive in Ogbomoso?
I got here last 2 weeks, Saturday.
Last 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Now, what's your view about this place?
Well, one thing is that...
Was it up to your expectation?
Yes.
Wow.
Because even it has gone beyond what I expected.
Okay.
Yes.
In terms of human relation?
Yes.
In terms of the reception?
Exactly, sir. And the environment.
Okay.
The serenity of the environment is so different from what we have in Lagos.
Wow. This place is well ventilated.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed is that even when we look at the biological system of what is happening in this area compared to what we have in some places, most places in Lagos, because one thing is that the trees taking the
nature.
Yeah, exactly, and there's we don't even, there are some things that you don't, like for example, I don't switch on the fan in my room.
Okay.
So those are the things, and it has been a wonderful experience.
Okay. Now let's talk about what you came for. Have you been achieving it?
Yes. With the help of the students I met and the tutors, it has been wonderful.
Okay. To what extent
Okay, for a start, the first week I started with HTML,
Okay.
which has to do with the designing of the web page, designing of the web pages, coding of the web pages.
Okay.
And one thing is that I've been able to try as much as possible to learn some of those things that I need to do. That, and there are some things I can do on my own now. And this week I
within 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. And this week
nice.
I moved into CSS, which is which has to do with design, cascading style sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's to do with the beautification of that web pages, because those are the things that, okay, for example, now there are some work that has been done for these things to come out like this, and one of the codes maybe they have written the codes will be written, but there are some things that needs to be embedded into the codes for it to come out like this. So those are the things that I'm working on.
Okay. What is your assessment on this ICT college?
Well, one thing is that before I got here, even while I was communicating with Dr. Frederick, I tried as much as possible to do research. And even when I told some of my friends that, okay, sorry, I'll be moving over to, like, okay, where is that? I told them that, okay, they went to Google to do research, like, wow, this is so different. Even there are several times I tried as much as possible. Something really that got me stuck when I was having issues with the registration. And when I was directed to Idozia, I was like, wow, even every question I post replied, I was like, wow, this is different.
So when BBC Yoruba interviewed you, how many organizations offered you anything?
None.
Did you receive any offer from any organization?
Not at all.
So it means only BBC and SQI appreciate your talents.
Yes, I'm different.
So what is your... When you were told that you will be given a scholarship to study free of charge here, how did you feel?
I was happy because one thing is that I was not expecting this. If someone would tell me that, oh, by this time, this day, this will be happening, I wouldn't have believed. But one thing is I was shocked. Even that day I told my parents, they were surprised that, wow, this is, because it was not something I was expecting.
What is your message for people about SQI?
Well, I will tell people out there that SQI is one of the best places to be, especially for anyone that wants to venture into ICT business.
Okay.
Nothing beats that.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Now, what is your message to fellow Nigerians?
Well, what I can tell them is that, one, especially we the young ones, we don't need to let our environment determine, especially kills our dreams. Because we need to watch our association, because it really matters. Because those are the things that happens when people associate with those people that are not even, they don't even think, they are thinking are not aligned. So those are the things that happen. And one thing is that I want to tell viewers out there, especially those who are interested in doing things that studying something that related to ICT, SQI is one of the best places to be, if not the best.
Thank you for your time with us.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Your name once again?
Tella Michael Jolade, sir.
AKA?
Calculator.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.